to do the presentation, I will turn off my camera, and when you need me, just say, Alex, please translate. Okay, I'm here. Or
Okay.
you want me to do the presentation? What is the plan before we start?
Now you come with me, we dance together. Okay.
All
If
right.
I need
Yes.
you to,
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
you can
Okay.
help me on the family. All right. But don't turn off yet the camera. Okay.
Okay. Sure. I'm here.
Дорогие коллеги, я вас всех рада приветствовать на совместном вебинаре компании а-ля Carte Premium и отеля Niyama Private Maldives. У нас сегодня два прекрасных гостя. Это Александра Ефремова, которая представляет эти отели в России, СНГ, и André, it's a special guest. André is the director of sales and marketing of Niyama Private Maldives. So, André будет сегодня делать презентацию, но если есть у вас какие-то вопросы, Александра, конечно же, поможет, ответит на вопросы в чате, в общем, будет с нами. So, André, we can start, if you are ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So thank you very much, Anastasia. And before we go into showcase this fantastic property, which is known as one of the legendary resorts in the Maldives, I would like to thank to a la carte and for giving us this opportunity to be here with you. We do have some exciting news in regards to our property, but at the same time, it's good sometimes to put a face behind many emails, many interactions that we might have on social platforms. But to thank you very much for this. At the same time, I have with me here Alexander. I don't understand very well yet Russian, but I could understand that you, Anastasia, already did some introduction. I have here my wing woman when it comes to the Russian market, Alexandra. I'm sure that she's very famous to all of you. And she will be the one who will jump in at some point if some of you are not so comfortable with my English accent. But I know how to say da, and I know how to say Nastrovia and all of these things, which are spasiba, which is very useful when I'm okay. But well, I'm gonna start, and I'm not gonna do a very boring presentation. I want you to feel excited in the same way that we at Niyama are very excited, because I've been over the last years, and just as a matter of curiosity, I'm proud to be living this era of Niyama. I'm already working for Niyama. It's going to make 40 years now. So, and for me, it is a great pleasure, because during these 40 years, Russian market has been our number one market. And there is always the questions about, André, what about refurb? What are you doing this and this and this and that? I know that there is a very special care, a very special, I would say, a love when it comes to our property, because in the end of the day, we have what is more difficult to achieve in the property, which is the natural beauty. We have a property which is 100% natural island, and it is one of those who really create the dream of traveling into the Maldives. I'm sure that many of you and many of your guests as well, now they can become a little bit confused, because there are so many properties now, and many of them man-made, and they look great. But I think sometimes it's like in fashion, we need to go back to the basics, and we are really the natural beauty. We are a property that I say by joke, we don't need Botox, we don't need the doctor, we are really beautiful since we're born. We just have is a uplift, which will place us playing on a Champions League again. So many of you, I'm sure that they already sent guests to Niyama, but very, very rarely they know the meaning about Niyama. Niyama, in fact, it is a Maldivian word, and the meaning behind this name is safe journey. I don't know how to say it in Russia, but Alexander at some point will help me how it says. But that is the meaning behind the name of Niyama. Then, as you can see from here, it's quite a large resort, but it's not massive. What I want to say is that Niyama definitely is the answer for many of your requests. When I look to the pattern of the bookings on this particular market, I see that 10 nights, 40 nights, 20. Right now I have a guest who's spending more than 40 nights there. And why they choose Niyama and why they think it's great? Because we have the sense of space. We have a lot of things to do. We have unlimited, almost culinary options, more than 10 restaurants and other pop-ups. So we do offer the opposite of a boring Maldives. Here, the guests, they don't have an opportunity to get bored. At the same time, I would like to mention from these pictures just a few details that you can see. We don't have islands in front of us. No islands in front of us. And before, this maybe was not pointed out as a selling point, but right now definitely it is. Because I've been in other resorts, I must say, and sometimes I'm looking to other resorts or some being constructed, I have light pollution and all of that. I cannot see so many stars like before. Here at Niyama, we still have that beautiful landscape. It's dew and the ocean. We don't have as well another point. We don't have seawalls. And I can go down and see you can see the pictures like I'm scrolling. So it's two islands connected by this small bridge. And as you can see, we don't have really islands in front of us. We have some of the real long and white sandy beach of the entire Maldives. And I think when you think about the destination and why people are trying to come to our beautiful destination, the core of their reason is actually the beach and so on. And here we offer the long and white sandy beach. And I like a lot these pictures because it puts you a scale. You can see the size of the guests and you can compare the size of the beach. Same time, one of the things that our guests, they mention when they depart Niyama, and we always have, how was your stay? And I'm sure that they will reply, it was amazing. It was great. But one of the things that really, really comes in, I would say 99% of the reviews is that, I didn't realize that Niyama was so green. I didn't, the jungle there was really impressive. It is, and they have a lot of space and the pathways and all of that. And that is true. Because to a point that part of your routine to a guest will be a bike ride at Niyama. You don't go to Niyama, to Maldives, so I will go on a ride a bike and all of that. But in the end, when you are there, you realize the space that we have. You realize that the jungle that we have really looks like from another country. It looks like you are in Costa Rica sometimes. It looks like you are traveling to another destination. And a bike ride really gives you that sense of exploration. So the reason why we're having this webinar is to tell you as well, is to refresh you about it, but as well tell you what is being new. And over the last year, and we were very conservative in sharing a lot of our news and informations because everyone wants to have the refurb of Niyama. Everyone asks about it, but no one wants to pass through a refurb process. So I come here today to tell you what have we done until now. And we actually started with the culinary options. So our nest, the tree house, and I'm going to put here this pointer, I believe that you can see it. So the nest is the tree house was 100% done. Our dune restaurant on the beach where we serve the lunch and so on was also 100% done. We brought the chef's garden as well. Every guest right now is a foodie. Everyone is so involved in the kitchen right now. So the chef's garden also becomes very popular nowadays. And Niyama, of course, we have the space for it, and we decided to go as well. We also have what we call the Braai Nights by Tribal, which is a fantastic barbecue on the beach. As you can see this image, this is pretty visual there. And we brought tuk-tuks from Thailand, and we have the tuk-tuk nights on the beach because in the end, Niyama is a little bit like this. Is the funky, is the bold, is the red color, is the disruptive one. So we don't like is to get the guests bored. I think they're going on holidays so they can have fun, so they can go with the family and having a great moment. And the tuk-tuk nights is really one of those. And of course, to make it even more complete, and as you can see, not only we have on top of the trees restaurants one, but we also have our unique underwater restaurant, which is the Sub 6. We also changed the menu, is becoming more vibrant as before, and we still have our glow parties, which is a club on the water at night that we do it here. Then, of course, we now reached to a point where I'm proud and very pleased to announce that we now have the villas. And when it comes to the villas in detail, we have the entire deluxe beach accommodations already refurbed, and our overwater villas also refurbed, and also the one bedroom pavilion, which I'm going to show you. We've done a lot of things. I think I'm going to go more into detail when I do have these pictures more on the big screen, but we did it in a way that without losing the sense of being natural, without being a totally different property, because we do have a lot of repeaters. Our repeaters, they love Niyama how it was, and now they love more how it is. So we didn't want it to have a very disruptive change between the old and the new. We haven't changed the number of inventory. It's the same inventory. We didn't put pools where they didn't exist, nothing. But what we've done was changing completely the soul of it. New floor, new ceiling, new furniture, new everything that you see on the property, it is totally new. So right now, Niyama is on steroids, like I like to say. It's stronger and beautiful than ever. And I'll go more into detail now. So I'm going to show you how is it the journey of your guests and to refresh you where we are. So Niyama is located at Dalu Atoll, south of Male. You have properties like St. Regis or Baglioni, which are in the same atoll. But usually we tend to say, oh, Dalu Atoll is the Niyama Atoll. So we are pretty much the landmark of this atoll. Then your guests can arrive or access to Niyama by many ways. So this is actually a selling point of Niyama. No matter what the time that they arrive in Male, you always have an option to go to Niyama. Of course, the seaplane is this kind of special agent arrival. I would say that 90% of our guests, they like the seaplane because it is the experience. And when you arrive there, we have our own staff. We have our own lounge with drinks, with snacks, with children facilities, with showers if you need. It's there as well. But we do have also the access and the opportunity to go by domestic if the guests, they have a late flight, or imagine that your guests, they are combining, for instance, through Dubai. And I'm seeing this more often. I have a lot of guests who now combine with Dubai, and the last flight from Male to Dubai is closer to 11 o'clock in the evening. So my suggestion for you as an agent is always like this. The arrival of Niyama, do it on the seaplane because you arrive there, it's a different feeling, and the guests, they're coming with a different, I would say, vibe. But the departure, if by some reason they come on this late flight, I always say, look, let's place the guests on the domestic because we always give the late checkout. And the guests, they want to have much more time to experience and to go again to the water and do some activities and stay on the resort. And then the last flight from the Dalu Atoll is around 7:30 in the evening. So the guests, they go there, and it's only half an hour away flight, and they arrive already on the international airport. And I think this is just a tip that I give you because many times the guests, they know this I would say option when they are in house. Then they will call you to try to change there, and then we're trying to do a last minute change, and it's much more easier if you actually, you know what, for your better guest experience and so on, there is also this opportunity that you can do, and then we put in their side their decision or not. Another situation that we have, and why we have this private jet here, is that Niyama is the luxury property, the closest luxury property to a private jet's arrival. Our Dalu airport, which is only 7 minutes by boat, we are able to have arrivals by private jet internationally without having to pass through any other airport. So they can arrive no matter where they are, they can arrive straight to this airport, and then it's only 7 minutes by boat access to Niyama. And this is something that we had very often during the festive period, and during COVID times, of course, it was even more frequent. But this is really something that is still there. We have the customs, they can do the passport control over there. So it's just arrive in 7 minutes, they are at Niyama. and it is the closest and the swiftest access in the entire Maldives for those who travel into private jet. So here I have the map, and from this map I can give you a generic view of what Niyama is all about and why we say it's 2 islands. One, we call it the Chill Island, and the Chill Island, the name comes because we have here the spa, the wellness, the yoga center. All of our overwater villas at Niyama, they are located on the Chill Island. I must say that we don't have restriction for children on the overwater villas, but naturally the parents with young children, when they choose to go to the beach. So like the word now is in vogue, organically, I would say the atmosphere on the overwater villas is a little bit more relaxed as well. So that's why we have the Chill Island, because all of this. Then this island here is what we rename it as the Play Island. And on the Play Island, like the name says, is where you have a much more vibrant atmosphere, is where you have the children's club, is where you have the diving center, is where you have the tennis court, the football pitch, and we have as well something that really put us away from all the rest, is that we are the only luxury property in the entire Maldives with our natural private surf wave right here on this spot. And this is the reason why many of nationalities can be found in Niyama, like Australians, Brazil, Latin Americans, and they choose Niyama because of this very important detail that the guests, they don't need to go by boat and be away from their family or their honeymoon to get some surf. Here they can do it right in our shore. Just so you can see it and why this is created. So we have the reef, and the reef is like this dark color here. And the reef comes from all the way through here. And when it approaches the land, it creates the wave here. Around this area is like the lagoon. No water is moved. It's like a natural pool right here, clear water. The picture of the postcard of Maldives exists here. The only part that there is a wave is right here, but on this part, this is not guests area, so or villas. So only the wave it is here. A guest that is staying on these villas, they have no clue that there is a wave here, and I think in a way that's why we call it that this is the nature's playground, because we were blessed by nature by having this one here. And I'm saying this why? Because surf becomes right now in Russia a very gross sport. We have a lot of interest on this specific sport now in Russia, to a point that right now in Moscow there is a surf federation. You're gonna have an artificial wave as well in Moscow and surrounds of Moscow. So this is a sport that's becoming more in vogue, as well as, you know, Bali and so on are starting to have a lot of guests from Russia as well. And the main reason for them to go is being the surf. So here you have one of the most complete resorts, not in Maldives, I would say in the world, by having this small detail. Another point that I would like to mention here, because this is come very frequently when we have our meetings, is that what about snorkeling at Niyama? So we have 4 spots for snorkeling. One, we call it the beginner snorkeling. And why is it the beginners? Because here we don't have the current. Here you can go with young children that are not very comfortable to be on the sea, and they want to see Nemo. They want to see those fishes that they see on their cartoons and so on. Here you have a lot of fish variety, and that is why we also do here our coral garden together with our marine biologist. In fact, I can say that we do have a program for children, which is be marine biologist for a day. So this is a program that we have, actually happens pretty much on this area. Then we do have the advanced snorkeling, and we call the advanced because it's a little bit more deeper, and actually it is more exposed to the ocean. Because as I told you, here we have the reef that protects. So here is more exposed to the ocean. It doesn't mean that you have to be a fantastic swimmer, but definitely you need to be a little bit more comfortable to stay in the sea. Then we do have the blue hole. And the blue hole, like the name says, is a hole where you have like pretty much like 9 to 10 meters deep. Your guests can even do here a diving baptism, they say, but it is a snorkeling spot over there with a lot of fish variety. We don't have any explanation why we have the hole, but I think this is one of the secrets of Niyama, is that it is a natural island and you have this sort of natural details that still not explained by humans. And we also have here what we call the crescent snorkeling spot. And the crescent snorkeling spot is where your guests will find a lot of turtles. Turtles are here in their natural habitat. So your guests can come here from this part of the shore, and then they come here and you're going to see, I'm sure, 99% guaranteed they're going to see here turtles around. So I think this places here in a very complete situation when it comes to water sports, when it comes to the property itself. So I gave the highlight and generic. So I'm going more into detail when it comes to the accommodations, where we call the sleeping experience. So when it comes to the beach, which I think it is the main interest when it comes to Russian guests, at least the pattern of the bookings has been pretty much a beach accommodation. As you can see from here, the jungle is very high. We really offer here a lot of space, but at the same time, a lot of privacy when it comes to it. We do have what we call deluxe beach villa, deluxe beach pool villa, and the deluxe family beach pool. So deluxe beach villa, I would say that everything that you're seeing here, it is totally new. New floor, new ceiling, new bed, new pillows, new decoration. Everything is much more bright. At the same time, the fact that we are a running resort, it gives us as well the opportunity to listen to some of the challenges that we had. The fact that we've changed the entire floor, because before this floor was actually a bit slippery. At some point it was a bit not dangerous, but some challenges. So we've changed as well, and now it's not slippery anymore. When I say that we are a natural island, sometimes we also have other national aspects. Sometimes in the morning, around 5:30 in the morning, we do have a lot of birds. And I guess they want to sleep a little bit more, and they became very noisy. So right now we also changed the entire windows, and now they are 100% soundproof. So also gives you a little bit more comfortable with this. Also air conditioning, everything that you see here, it is new. So this is pretty much our entry level when it comes to Niyama. Then we have what we called the deluxe beach pool villa. Interior is pretty much similar when we think about the deluxe. Is the exterior where we are actually it's changed by offering, of course, this outdoor pool. Has a lot of space, as you can see, has a lot of privacy, as you can see by this picture. Gives you pretty much the space needed, not just for 2 adults, but in fact for 2 adults and 2 children, because we are able to put here inside. This one can be a bed. This one that you can see, you can easily put here another bed without becoming very, very crowded. We are very flexible when it comes to it. Of course, sometimes there are another small children or a cot needed there, and we always do it in a way without putting a lot of we try to declutter a bit, so without putting a lot of pressure when it comes to the room capacity. But this is, as you can see, I think it gives a fantastic vibe. All the decks, they're being done. The pools, they were totally done. And I must say that we also have a huge upgrade when it comes to our landscaping. As a matter of curiosity, we do have a new landscape manager who was involved in the creation of many of well-known resorts. I think currently everyone knows that Juwali as well, and he was the previous landscape manager at Juwali. He's currently with us, and I must say that definitely there is a new landscape vibe when it comes to it, and you can see here that is looking stunning. When it comes to families, and one of the things that I would like to spend a little bit more time and to detail it, to explain you so you can be totally comfortable to our family beach villas, which is this one here. So we do have a lot of requests for families when it comes to your market. With 2 children or 3 children, with one is already a teen, and so on. And the request pretty much comes as a 2-bedroom unit. And I want you to know that the family villas at Niyama, actually, they can be seen as a 2-bedroom unit. And let me explain it. So you do have here the main, or what we call the master bedroom, which is this one here, and which is similar to the other ones. But then you have this door right here, and this door takes you to this area that can be flexible, can be a sofa bed here. Well, okay, to be a sofa during the day, a living area, so you can have space, so you can go around, also have another pool. Or, as you can see, this is a very large sofa bed. And it's not a simple sofa bed. It actually looks like a bed when you are asleep there, and it's very large, similar to the one that you have on the master bedroom. So you have this one here, and you have this one. Also connected with this area, you have this second toilet that gives you privacy, gives you all what is needed. And I must say that many of our agents, they didn't realize that our family beach accommodations, actually, they offer 2 separate sleeping areas, because this door, you can close it completely. And why I say this, and I'm totally sure that this is exactly the room type that the families, they search for. Because we do have our 2-bedroom pavilions, but the 2-bedroom pavilions, they are 600 square meters, closer to 700 square meters. It's a very large unit. And when you are a parent and you have young children, what the parents, they want is to have the children far enough, which will be here, but at the same time close enough. So as you can see, we offer exactly the thing. What happens sometimes is on the 2-bedroom pavilion, which is very large. Well, it's a very large unit. The children, they are very far away from the main bedroom and so on. It sometimes can become the parents, they don't sleep to see if the kids are good, and the children is not usually their bedroom, so they go into the parents' bedroom. So I just want you to point out, so you can really know that the family beach pool villa at Niyama, it's 2-bedroom unit, that the guests really are searching for it. Plus, outside gives you all this access. It is much larger than a normal beach pool villa. We always put the same number of sun beds according with the occupancy that we are having in this specific villa. And I think this is really one of the most, I would say, searched room types from our guests into your market. I'm going to ask Alexander, I know that we have other agents here, and some, they will join us on this record call, just to help me here in explaining Russia. So there are no questions and no doubts about it. Over to you, Alexander.
Коллеги, немножко, буквально пару комментариев по поводу нашей семейной виллы. Хотим просто сделать акцент. Я думаю, что вы все и так поняли концепцию, но на всякий случай расскажу. Семейная категория у нас, вот, которую вы видите сейчас на слайде, Deluxe Family Beach Pool Villa. Эта категория, она состоит из одного домика, под крышей которого располагаются 2 комнаты. Сейчас на слайде у нас с вами это основная спальня, кровать king size, здесь мы с вами можем ее увидеть, да, и вот в этом уголочке, где я курсором вам показываю, располагается межкомнатная дверь, через которую мы с вами перейдем в соседнее помещение. Это уже будет на следующем слайде, я вам там все расскажу. В основной спальне у нас есть выход на террасу, у нас есть своя просторная ванная комната, которая тоже была обновлена. Площадь такой виллы составляет 255 квадратных метров, и мы делаем акцент на том, что эта категория обновленная, и всем гостям, которые приезжают с детьми, здесь будет достаточно комфортно располагаться. Вторая комната, которая через межкомнатную дверь мы проходим, да, она выглядит вот таким образом. Здесь у нас есть в сложенном виде выглядит вот таким образом, да, это диван, который раскладывается, и у нас таким образом с вами образуется дополнительное спальное место. Здесь также есть гостевой санузел, на случай, если у вас гости в вечернее время, в утреннее время все равно, да, разъезжаются, здесь не бывает, скажем так, очередей зубной щеткой по утрам, по вечерам, в любое время дня и суток. Из каждой спальне у нас есть выход на террасу. Вы можете увидеть, что терраса у нас тоже просторная, все это тоже было обновлено. И таким образом у нас гости очень комфортно проживают с детьми. Здесь есть возможность также поставить еще одно дополнительное место, поэтому всем, скажем так, места хватит. Снаружи тоже домики у нас выглядят таким образом. Теперь они все обновленные, и крыши, и стены. Вы можете увидеть, что это совершенно такой другой светлый дизайн, несмотря на то, что в целом во время обновления, во время ремонта мы сохранили именно такой традиционный стиль курорта Нияма. По-прежнему у нас есть красные акценты в текстиле, но все обновлено. Террасы тоже у нас обновлены. Здесь же у нас стоят новенькие такие качельки, полная приватность, да, для клиентов. Ну и, конечно же, это фронтальный выход к пляжу. Очень комфортный, и вы можете даже немножко видеть море, то есть это не прямо глухая стена из пышной растительности. На курорте во время реновации, во время обновлений также были проведены большие работы именно по ландшафту. То есть здесь также у нас много всего произошло. Это очень аккуратные, очень такие причесанные джунгли, где комфортно располагаться всем клиентам любой категории вилла. André?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Great.
Yes. All right.
I think,
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I think we have video of this category we can show.
We do have.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just
Yeah.
share here.
Yeah.
I think it's this one here. Let me just put. Right. Thank you. So, as you can see, these videos helps a lot for us to have a perspective of the room itself and so on. More for you as an agent. I don't like much the videos, I must say, at some point. Why I don't like? Because I don't like trailers of movies, because then I lost the wow factor of it. I like to the guests. They go there and they become surprised. Oh, this is fantastic. At some point, these videos, they almost showcase everything and all of that. I think these videos, they are great, of course, for us and for you as an agent, just for you to know exactly how it looks like and to be comfortable of the product that you are selling to the guests. And at the same time, it shows how dense the nature, how integrated they are. And you can see how large the beach is in front of these villas as well, which is in the end the core of the reason why they come through here. So, but of course, these videos, they're going to be available for all of you, and you can use it But I just wanted to share that sometimes I like more when they got surprised and they opened the door and then, oh, this is a fantastic unit. Thank you so much for sending and for promoting Niyama Private. All right, so next, I would like to move into overwater villas. And I would like to say that, yes, beach accommodations tend to be the normal pattern of the interest, but I'm getting more and more interest into overwater villas, especially, of course, when it comes to honeymoons, but also regular guests when they come to Maldives. Now they want to try something new. Some highlights about overwater villas, because we always had many selling points already before. But the fact that we don't have islands in front of us, again, it is a selling point that I'm always saying this. But the fact that all of our overwater villas, they actually offer private pool. We don't have any overwater villa at Niyama without a private pool. Then the fact that your guests, they can swim in any part, in any overwater villa, either in a high tide and also in the low tide. And as you can see, another selling point that many questions they make is the access to the water from the villa. Actually, it's very soft, so you don't have a very straight and very tall and very high stair that sometimes can be an hazard. Actually, here it is really, really easy to go and very smooth. So all the overwater villas as well, they actually been upgraded. And here, in fact, you can see that there is quite a difference when it comes to it. The fact that the entire space really have a new soul. We even give more space in the overwater villa just by doing small changes that we did. The bed structure now, although it is new, we pace it a bit back because we found out that the guests, when they book an overwater villa, the guests, they actually spend much more time in their villa rather when they have guests on the beach villa. So everything that you see here, it is new. Everything that you see here when it comes to the bathroom, everything is new. I like a lot the color of our new bathrooms. The palette of it really reflects what you can see from the outside. And also all our pools, they were retiled, so they are really new. And I think this was a big, massive upgrade that we did to the overwater villas. The outside, as you can see, it is really Instagrammable, like the new word that is there, is really telegrammable when it comes to Russia at some point, right? But the fact is that it really gives you a lot of space, gives you a lot of privacy, gives you really that Maldivian experience that the guests, when they search on the overwater villas, here they will get what they wanted in their dreams. I would like to share as well our pavilion. And our pavilion on the beach is really looking stunning. This is really for those guests who want an upgraded overwater villa. And at the same time, I would say that this, I can unveil that is maybe my favorite one that we have currently on property. We did a lot of upgrades to this one, even the fact that, and let me put here the pointer again, that you can see here. So all of these windows now, they can open. Before it was not like this. New floor, new ceiling, everything that you see here. The bathrooms, they are still similar to what we have now on the normal of the entry level one, but looking fantastic. When it comes to the outside, you can see here, and I like a lot this picture. I must say we were very successful with it. It really showcases what Niyama is all about. And when it comes here, the pool is much larger, and this is just a one bedroom one, because you have here the bedroom and here you have the living room, and then you have behind you the mix of the two. You can have here the overwater villa, and behind you have such a fantastic beach. I must say that Alexander already stayed here. At some point, she was not very lucky, as you can see.
What? I was very lucky, but we stayed in not one bedroom, in two bedroom.
Oh
my
God,
favorite
you're
one.
really lucky.
Oh, I'm sorry for telling all the secrets.
That's good. But the fact is that this is really, really looking great. So this is just for you to get inspired that Niyama is better than ever been, I would say. And all these pictures, they are real. They are not AI. Nowadays, we don't know what is real. But here I'm telling you, I'm putting my hands on fire that this is real. And this is really what your guests are going to leave it and stay at Niyama. Then this is the 2-bedroom, which unfortunately this was the room of Alexander. I'm very sorry, but this was the room where she stayed. And of course, this gives us also this living room and all this space here that really elevates and make it even more comfortable. But as you can see here, and as long as I'm scrolling these pictures and all of that, you can see that Niyama is really complete, either when it comes to beach accommodations, and no matter what the kind of guests they are, family, small, multi-generation, and so on, we really have an option for them. And you can see here on the living room how it looks like, and really, really large, and really have the sense of a new car. I would like to point out as well this one here, which is the crescent that we have. And I must say that is no longer a trend. The multi-generation family traveling together, or group of friends, or celebration is a fact. This is before we used to, oh, there is this trend and we have this solution. Right now is a fact. We have this one booked on a normal basis. We have, like we said, the crescent, and crescent, because of the shape of it, these are 5 individual villas, but this can be booked all in one. So for small buyouts, we do it this one here. And why this is fantastic? Because many times we have this group of or friends or family that they want the experience of privacy, of being on a small island. Oh, I want to be all together. It's a very special. Every time, every 3 years, we travel together and we do a celebration of life. And this is exactly the answer for it. And why is it good? Because then not only they have this privacy, but then we offer the large access to the other facilities and the restaurants. Because many times the small islands, they also come only with one restaurant. Oh, we only have one bar and I only have this. And then it becomes boring at some point. The Crescent is great because we offer that privacy, but at the same time, then I offer the 10 restaurants and the activities and the club and the underwater and all of that. So I think this is really the great solution. Many agents, they still didn't realize that we had this solution, but this is really where I would like to put some emphasis, because we do have something that really no one has as well. I'm not sure if you, Alexander, you need to add something into it, but I hope my English with an accent of Russia is...
Да, я буквально в 2 словах просто хотела бы добавить. Crescent в переводе так и называется, полумесяц, да, то есть по форме эта надводная группа немножко выглядит как полумесяц, поэтому ее так и назвали. Она состоит из 5 вилл различных категорий. Прямо по центру находится категория two-bedroom павильон с бассейном. По бокам от центрального большого павильона two-bedroom располагаются 2 павильона с одной спальней, и самые крайние, и с правой стороны, и с левой стороны, это категория Deluxe Overwater Pool Villas. Если у вас примерно компания около 20-22 человек, то мы с удовольствием можем предложить целиком такой buyout, то есть выкуп полностью вот этой небольшой веточки водных вилл. Это дает нам хорошие возможности. Если у вас гости выкупают целиком эту ветку, то доступ к пляжу, который располагается прямо непосредственно возле этой веточки, у клиентов будет приватный. То есть мы заблокируем некоторую территорию для них, и они смогут в приватном режиме здесь располагаться. Конечно же, для каждой категории у нас доступен сервис батлеров, то есть есть и в том числе для береговых и для водных категорий. И здесь у вас гости будут под присмотром наших замечательных и очень внимательных коллег. Ну и это очень здорово, да, то, что если у вас приезжает какая-то компания, может быть, какие-то специальные события праздновать, да, всегда помните, что у нас огромное количество ресторанов и баров, мы сейчас про них расскажем, широкие возможности по отдыху. Это мы только с вами в самом начале пути нашей презентации, но, наверное, половина, может быть, уже пройдена, да? И классные возможности для различных групп, то есть это могут быть любые специальные события. Мы очень с огромным удовольствием все организуем.
Great. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going further. So in terms of accommodations, if anyone has any questions, feel please feel free to drop in the chat, and we will answer for it, or later on by email. So,
если какие-то есть вопросы именно по размещению, вы пишите, а мы остановимся, проговорим это все. Вдруг что-то было непонятно по виллам, но пока перейдем к ресторанам и барам как раз. И тоже, если у вас будут по ним вопросы, пишите, я с удовольствием поддержу все любые вопросы, отвечу вам.
Да. Okay. So, in terms of accommodation, I think we covered everything. And just to summarize, we have an option for everyone, no matter what the case it is. And now we jump into the culinary, because Niyama has been awarded many times as the best culinary resort in the Maldives by the TTM. And just to put the reason why behind, because not only we have the variety, and when you say that, we do have these two main restaurants, which we call the Epicure and the Blue. Each one is on the different island. But you, as a guest, you can go whatever you want to this one. This is where we call main restaurants as well, because we serve the breakfast. And that doesn't mean that you are only allowed to go to one restaurant for breakfast. It's just the fact that you have one which is closer to your villa. But you can go whatever you want. But then, just to combine with this, we have what we call the special restaurants. And definitely, as you can see from here, the Nest, it is really one of the most spectacular places to dine. Really gives you that sense of travel to another destination inside your travel into the Maldives. It was, as I said initially on the call, it was 100% done. It's the Tree House. It's an Asian restaurant, as you can see. It's the only restaurant where we don't have music, because we just use the sound of the nature, the sound of the birds. And it really is an immersive experience within the jungle. Then we have the Tribal. And the Tribe is like a steakhouse. And it looks like you are in a safari camp. As a matter of curiosity, 70 or 80% of our staff in this restaurant, they're actually from Kenya. So if today you go to sleep and you wake up here, you actually think that you are in Kenya or something around here, because everything looks like Africa. Then we have these bubbles. I have this picture of one bubble like this, but in reality, we have 5 bubbles like this. So we can privatize, or actually you can also share with other guests if it is fine for it. But it really is one of the restaurants that our guests, they really enjoyed. And they mentioned this a lot in their reviews. Then we have this platform. And on this platform, as you can see, you need to access by boat. But you access by boat 1 minute, 2 minutes maximum. And the guests, they love it, because they have the sensation that they are going out, that they're going to another island. Oops, this went down. Now you can say again. Okay, they have the sensation that they are going out, and they are not in the island anymore. So when it comes to it, what is this one here? So this one here is actually a cocktail bar where the guests, they go for the sunset. We always have a DJ, Cafe Del Mar kind of sound, and we have a great bartender there. They give you all the cocktails, and you are just there, just embracing the sunset. Then on this structure here is where you find the Edge. And the Edge is a fine dining restaurant. It's called Edge because it's right on the edge. We don't have how can I say, all those only restaurants in a way, but naturally how is it located and all of this, we tend to see here only more adults, not so much young people, but in the end we have parents that they also access to this one. And then this one that you see here down is in fact our sub 6, our underwater restaurant. And just to highlight that many times I have questions, what can I book for dinner and so on. This is a lunch restaurant. Our underwater restaurant is a lunch restaurant. And why is it a lunch restaurant? Because you need visibility over daylight. And that's why it is in the lunch. At the same time, you have much more fish activity during the lunchtime or during the daytime. And that's why we have this one as a lunch, as a restaurant. Because at night, this is where we turn into the famous glow parties or the club that many people they talk. Oh, you have a club. So on actually is our sub 6 restaurant, which is a lunch, and at night for you to use This restaurant, they actually turn into a club. The guests, they love it because they can have dance, they can mingle. Actually, Niyama has the magic power to make friends between them. They are guests that they go couples or they go families, and then families, they become friends inside, and then they want to go out. So this one actually works very well to it. And we only close until the guest one leaves. So if there is someone, the real Moscow people, the real Siberian people, they want to party over there, sometimes you only leave that at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning if they want. So this is just for you to tell. And another thing is that this happens without putting any risk someone that might be staying here and just want to relax. That's why we say chill or play, the choice is yours. You can do your own thing and without putting anyone into complaints. So during the day and back to the island, we have all these restaurants. We have the dune, like I said, was 100% done. The deli, which is actually new as well. This is where you have the snacks, the poke bowls, acai, something much more easy to go. Actually, this is a place where the guests, they love it to go, because during the day, the guests, they want to go to the waters and all of that. And I would like to mention and to say that the children, they are always in full board in all the restaurants. So usually I have a lot of these questions. Oh, what about the parents and the children? So the children, they are always in full board, no matter the board basis of the parents, right? So the parents, many times they ask the full board because of the children. I say, look, relax, because your children, they are already in full board. You, as a parent, I'm sure that's what you want. You have a great breakfast. During the day, you want to have fun and do activities and so on. So maybe you just want something easy to go, and you can go to Delhi and grab something. And at night, yes, then at night, you have your dinner, calm down, relaxed, either at Nest, either at Tribal and so on. But then we have here the half board. So that's why our rates pretty much, they cover is the half board as a base. Of course, then we have the rest until now and until the all inclusive. But the fact, I think this is the one that really answers. But just to go back again, so we do have the surf shack, and at the surf shack you also have the food truck for one of the best truffle fries that you're going to find out over there. We have the chef's garden, as you can see here, and we have our chef Thierry. Chef Thierry, in fact, he was a chef in St. Petersburg before, so he can do your borscht, you can do your stroganoff, your Olivier salad. He's famous of doing everything. So this is just to say that if you have a guest or a family where they have something specific, something that you think, oh, maybe he doesn't know because it's very typical from us, relax. We have a guest, we have a chef that used to work there, and he's able to do whatever you want. Plus he's French, and be careful because they think that they invented everything, especially the cuisine. But he's a very, very fun chef as well to have. Then we have what we call the pop-ups. And the pop-ups, we have the tuk-tuk, like I said, and you can see how the setting it is, very cool, very nice, very jungle. We have the tribal bright nights. This is also on the beach. We have the reggae nights, is a cocktail right in front of the surf spot. And we have always a DJ who plays reggae or a band of reggae, which is really, really connected to the surf scheme. So it really matches to what Niyama is all about. And then we have the famous guest cocktail, which is the management cocktail. It's a bit like now is very fashion. The flow, it's a bit like White Lotus show, where the guests, they're gonna meet the managers and everything behind. Here we always have this one, but in fact, this show put into reality some of the things that we always did as a hotel, and now, oh, you do that? Yes, this was always something. So and why they like, because it's free drinks. So who doesn't like free drinks? That's why it is the management cocktail. So then, of course, Maldives initially was very much attached to romantic and all of that, and we do have our special romantic settings, sandbanks, weddings, the snap. We also have a professional photo shooting studio in-house, which we have more than 60 wedding dresses over there. So even if you want to take pictures yourself, if you miss your wedding pictures, you can redo it over there on the beach. But this is just to tell you that we also do all of this. I used to say that we are a bit like the Japanese. We don't invent, but we improve everything. And this is what we do at Niyama. Sometimes we invent, sometimes we do it. But when we don't invent, we improve to what already exists or existed. In terms of wellness, the same thing. I like a lot is instead of these the overwater treatment rooms that we do have, but I like more these jungle ones. I think being laid down here and having a treatment, or not even the treatment is already a treatment. I think the silence and the fact that we have the jungle that we can use in our behalf, I think it's really good. We do have always a special practitioners in-house. Right now we have someone that is using the sound and the shells and all of that. We're gonna have another one in the coming months with a totally different, with coping and so on. And we do have something that no one has. And that's why we are the Niyama, the red collar. We have something that actually is forbidden to do in Maldives. And it usually is not perceived as a wellness treatment, or it's not a wellness treatment, of course, but for us it is attached to the spa, because we do have a tattoo artist that comes very often to our property. And right now tattoos is part of the lifestyle of many people. And let's put this one in perspective. We do have a lot of couples and so on which are on Maldives in our resort on honeymoon. Oh, and I'm going to live in love forever, and so on, and I'm here, I'm going to do a tattoo. And in the end, this become very, very popular, and the guests, they really like to put something to memorize and to mark their special honeymoon at Niyama. So we do have something that no one has, and the tattoo artist we do have at Niyama, and it's really something that no one has in the Maldives. Then, of course, one of the reasons of the great success of Niyama is our children facilities and the children program. And I must say that the children program goes beyond the facilities that we have in our Explorers Kids Club. We take the children away from the digital platforms that unfortunately they invaded our life, the PlayStations and all of that and on these things. We want to bring children back to the basics, to do the things with their hands, to explore, to become marine biologists for a day, to educate them into sustainability, because in the end of the day, this is the future of it. And I must say that this is the reason of it. And you will be amazed that the children, when they are exposed with this kind of activities, they don't want really to go to their iPads and to their phones and to all of this. We really give them the things that maybe we were used to do when we were. Now I look like I'm an old person speaking, but I'm not. But I'm 42 right now, and I remember very well when I was young, I liked to do a lot of things outside, and this is what we try to do as well with the children. Of course, we have different programs according with their age, because the children with 5 years doesn't, or the children with 8 doesn't want to do anything that with 5 they were doing. So we do have this one distributed among it. And we have things like dolphin cruise, we have snorkeling, and so on, these kind of activities that only for children. And then we even have some things that they love it, which is the ice cream tasting in the entire restaurants. They're going to taste all the ice creams, and they go to the kitchen and all of that. So they like a lot of this. And the parents, they love because they see the children happy. And I think the parents, they like to travel because of the children as well. And if they are happy, they become happy. And then this is why it becomes the full package of success. It is around these small details. Of course, one thing that I mentioned already that put us away from all the rest, because only you find out at Niyama is here, is our natural surf wave that happens right in our shore. And this is not a machine. This is a natural machine that is here, a wave machine. And that's why you have so many nationalities. Like I said, you can be an expert, you can be having intermediate skills, or you can have a touch in the board and you can start there at Niyama. And I think this is the big selling point as well when it comes to surf, is the fact that you don't need to go by boat and spend there half an hour on the boat and then stay there 3 hours and then back. So in the end of the day, you're going to stand out maybe 6 hours away. Here at Niyama, that doesn't happen because you're right there. And you have the opportunity to go in the morning or go in the afternoon or just before or during the sunset. We are lucky because many times you can surf with dolphins here, and we have some footage of last week and so on that I can prove you to that. Because this is actually the pass of the dolphins between Niyama and this island that is here in front of the surf spot. So this is really a highlight. And as I said in the beginning, this is a sport that is becoming very, very in vogue in the Russian market. To make it even more memorable, over there we have a surf photographer, a professional one, which takes the pictures to the guests and help you into make the memories into pictures. And then all your water sports, we have maybe our marine biologist. Turtles definitely is one of the things that you're going to see around Niyama. Many of the water sports that we have also follow the trends. We also have the jet boards. We do have the foil, which is now better. We have kite surf. We have everything that you think we do have at Niyama. Then the tennis court, the gym, the movie Under the Stars. And before you ask, oh, what about paddle? You have paddle court because now everyone plays paddle. Everyone is a pro of paddle nowadays. But the fact is that we are now choosing the spot to have our own paddle court. Why we didn't have it already? Because paddle is very noisy. Paddle is much more noisy than the tennis. So we were very careful about the spot into sun and all of that, and at that time it can become more noisy even because you don't have so much noise around it. So we were very careful. We already identified the spot, and in the nearest future we're also going to have our own paddle court, which nowadays is becoming one of the most requested or asked questions when it comes to activities at Niyama. So just to summarize, you can see that Niyama is great for couples, for families, or a group of friends, and we do have this slide here, and I'm sure that the team a la carte can share you this presentation, which will give you this, and you can share with your guests and all of that. Doesn't have any signatures, anything, but I put to summarize here why your guests will love Niyama, the fact that it's a natural island, the fact that now you have the refurbed accommodations, the culinary options, the activities, and all of that we do around. Pretty much we ticked all the boxes, and well, see you soon, and feel free to drop any message, anything to us if you have any question that you need to be clarified. So thank you for your patience. It's not this takes more time. This takes time. It's a large resort. There's a lot of things to do, and I think the presentation also mirrors a little bit of that.
Коллеги, благодарим вас за участие в нашем вебинаре. Я надеюсь, в целом все было очень понятно. И если у вас будут какие-то вопросы, пожалуйста, обращайтесь. Сейчас перед вами на экране вы видите код. Это наш мальдивский канал. И также я вам в чат сейчас отправлю ссылку, где можно найти материалы по курорту Niyama Private Islands, включая вот эту презентацию, которую мы сейчас с вами проговорили, а также планы питания, а также карту и прочее. Да? То есть здесь у нас информация есть. Если мы вам понадобимся, всегда рады быть на связи. И, конечно же, наши партнеры, компания а-ля карт, они все знают про нас. И с удовольствием на все ваши вопросы тоже будут отвечать. Я хотела бы только подчеркнуть, не знаю, все ли было понятно про историю с ресторанами и барами, на всякий случай, да, если даже у вас гости на полупансионе, взрослые гости, дети до 12 лет у нас на фуллборде. Это важный момент. Не успела там я у вас подключиться, потому что презентация шла своим чередом. В любом случае, в планах питания эта информация у нас тоже есть, вы сможете ее найти. Ну и мы всегда рады быть с вами на связи. Спасибо.
Саша, Андре, спасибо огромное за уделенное время. Желаю вам всем хороших бронирований. Вот. Напоминаю, что запись будет доступна на нашем канале на YouTube. Также помимо этого у нас сейчас как раз в Телеграме выходит видео с Андре, также видео будет обзор вилл, да, чтобы вам было понятнее все. Вот, André, thank you so much for your time, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a great pleasure. I sometimes I know that I speak too much. Where I go, I get involved, but I think at least I cover it. And I hope this would clarify many things that and to refresh. And I think now is the time to sell Niyama.
Yeah,
thank you again for this
Niyama,
opportunity.
we will wait for the bookings, both of us.
Yes.
Я
Hope
не
so.
тех.
Thank
Целую
you.
вас.
Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Спасибо. Хорошего дня всем.
Всем хорошего дня. Спасибо огромное.